MyMac Podcast 956, Blech Friday.
Hi everyone and welcome to this week's mighty MyMac podcast, and it comes to you with a deal. It's a Black Friday MyMac deal day. That's what it is. I'm sure that there are deals both in store and digitally, but since they started talking about Black Friday deals before Halloween, is anyone else tired of the hype? Well, we sure are. So here's a few relatively inexpensive things, tech-related, you can buy that we like. And they're probably not even on sale. But maybe they are. And maybe they're not cheap. Because Guy didn't tell me that when he asked me for the list.
I know. I don't know.
And I've got to say, I am sick and tired of seeing deals come in. Quadlock, I'm going to name the company, Quadlock, Black Friday deal, 30% off. I get a 30% offer from them every other month. So it's not a Black Friday deal, is it, Quadlock?
No.
Just like they blatantly mess it up by doing that. Other companies go, oh, yes, we can pretend that we've got a big sale. No, it's not a sale. If it was 50, 60% off the actual price, maybe it's a sale, folks. What you're doing is exactly what we have just said here. It is hype to try and get people buying stuff. People get fed up with it and it don't work anymore. They then get to the point where they buy when they want to. Some people do pick up deals. Some people do pick up deals. I'm not saying they don't, but boy, does it. Oh, yes, it winds me up too, Guy. Yes.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. And I saw a picture on Facebook of it was the image of it was a scene from Gladiator where Russell Crowe kind of has his head turned around a little bit.
Right.
And there's a price above the picture. It says $399. And in the picture it says, wait for it. And then the next one, same picture, $399. Wait for it. Next picture, $399. Wait for it. And then in the last picture, it has $699 crossed out and it has $399 underneath that. It says, go for it, boys. It's like, okay. Yeah, half off of a price that you were never going to be able to buy it at anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're now past, thank God, Black Friday.
And it's your fault as well that we've got it over here. It started a few years ago, but they've jumped straight into the thing that it isn't really a sale. It is a promotional lie. Use that word. Yeah. And like I'm blaming Halloween. You guys.
Yes, like Halloween, if it involves other people spending money, companies will jump on that bandwagon every single time. Anyway. I wanted to say sorry about last week. I wasn't really feeling well, and I swear, Gaz, it won't happen again until
the next time.
Until the next time. But I am going to have a weekend off coming up and I think it's going to be the second week of December. I'd have to look at the count. Doesn't matter. But we're going to Asbury Park, New Jersey.
I think we are doing something that weekend as well, but I'll let you finish. Sorry, I've interrupted.
Well, we're going to Asbury Park, New Jersey. Job. Well, that's where Bruce Springsteen is from. Everybody knows.
New Jersey.
Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Oh, right. Okay.
One of his albums actually has a big "Welcome to Asbury Park" sign.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes.
Yep. And because Tracy has, I
don't have that album.
Both of ours, but it's a childhood friend of Tracy's that we're going to go up and see. So we're not really sure what we're going to do yet, and other than help possibly her friend set up a new Mac. And I don't know what kind it's going to be. So that is also a mystery. It should still be fun. I mean, there is nothing better than the smell of a new Mac, Gaz. It's just so creamy smooth. I like it. What about you?
Well, So I've been decorating, volunteering, cycling, crashing, waiting in health centres,
Wait,
repairing
crashing?
daughter's bathroom floor, shopping, going out for meals, all sorts of stuff. Yes, I'll get back to that. Going to
Okay.
London to meet a company about analytics. I know that Guy loves analysts, so he'll look forward
Yeah,
to
careful how you
and
spell
my
that.
desktop pictures is still not fixed on MyMac, Apple. I am beginning to wonder why I shouldn't go back to Windows. No, I know why I won't go back to Windows. Yeah, that's fine.
There's still really good reasons to not go
there's
back to
still
Windows.
many good reasons. Yeah. Done a couple of cycles since our last pod. As Guy said, he's sorry about that, but maybe or maybe not. You might find out why in many years to come. But we're not going to say any more on that. So no. No, but I did come off my bike.
How did that happen?
Well, I fell off.
Oh.
So basically,
So the normal way then.
No, the normal way. Actually, the ironic thing was I was trying to get onto a cycle path where it would have been safer. But we was on the road, so we were doing about a 55. Well, it tended out to be a 63-mile ride for me, but basically
a
normal ride, yeah. So we were heading out towards this particular cafe, the other side of Peterborough, and this was the very first ride that I'd done with this group back in July. So I knew it was a long route, and I knew that just coming up ahead, I saw that the main group of riders, because we'd split out, so it was quite a busy road. So you thin out, and there was a few riders still on the road, but I could see one rider ahead who'd gone up onto the cycle path, and I knew that there was a bridge coming up where we'd go over like a main road which had a dual carriageway on it. So I thought, before I get to the little bit where we all have to quickly whip into like a little pull-off area and then get onto the path and go over, I'll go up first, like 300 yards before we get to that particular section. And I saw a dropped curb. Well, this time of year, it's cold and it's damp and it's wet and it's slippy. And the drop curb had about probably a quarter to half an inch still of a lip on it. And the thing was, I turned in to go up to this drop curve, but I didn't turn hard enough. So my front wheel wasn't at an acute enough angle to the curb to just flip up it and go up the curb. What are you munching?
Is it that sensitive?
Yes, I can. It is that sensitive. I'll ask which mic you're using in a minute, how it picked it up. Anyway, I didn't turn my wheel sharp. I didn't turn my wheel sharp enough, so it then decided to run along the edge of that curb still.
Ooh.
However, because I was already leaning over and my weight and my momentum was going up the curb, the front wheel didn't, but the rest of the bike and me did. Now, I went crashing down on my elbow and my side, and it wasn't too bad. I had to sit there for a little while, kind of going and quickly taking my gloves off to get to my watch to say, no, you don't have to ring emergency services. But I basically burst. My arm was bleeding quite a bit, but we patched it up. We got to the CAF, and they very, very kindly said, would you like a lift home? I don't think you realise just how far we've come. If I tell you you've got to drive us 30 miles home, they might have gone, can you wait?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was fine.
Let's call you an Uber.
Yeah. Not out there. No Ubers out there, mate, I tell you. Anyway, we patched it up because they had a first aid kit, and I rode home as well, and it was okay. Still did quite a quick speed, to be perfectly honest with you, but I actually burst my bursitis.
Oh,
right,
really?
So,
that's very painful.
Thank you. You know what it is, do you? If the listeners don't know what it is, your bursitis is like a little bag of fluid at the bottom of your elbow, which they describe it as a shock absorber, and it fills up with fluid. Now, if you burst it, the body still tries to fill it up with fluid. So it leaks out, and the body goes, oh, we'll put some more in. And it leaks out because you burst it, and it puts a bit more in. Yes. So it was, and it is a little bit painful at the moment. So
What does it heal
yeah.
itself, or do you have to like?
No, they said it can be a bit of a pain, but they can't do a lot with it other than it healing itself like the body does. And then obviously it will get to a point where everything's back to normal. But at the moment, actually, but my arm, I mean, I couldn't tell the difference as to what was wrong with my arm because I'd hit the ground at about 14 miles an hour and my elbow kind of hit the ground first.
Yeah.
Ha! Nice one.
So the elbow, and then
The elbow is
was your
quite
shock
tensed up.
absorber.
So, yeah, the whole elbow is the shock absorber. I was lucky. That's how a lot of cyclists break their collarbones coming off like that, you see, as well, because it's they sharp. So anyway, that side, actually, I've broken that side, which is my left side. I broke that collarbone back when I was at school playing rugby. And it is probably the strongest bone in my body now because it's split and laid on top of each other. And what the bone does is basically just create bone around it. And so it's probably now the strongest bone I've got. Anyway, that aside, all that aside,
there's a joke there somewhere, but
there's a joke there somewhere. Yeah, no. Anyway, so it's feeling okay. I've still got it bandaged up. I actually went out on a cycle today for 10 miles just to see how it was. Well, I just wanted to see how it felt, and I went out, and as long as I was on a smooth bit of road, it was fine. But as soon as I went over any bumps or uneven road, which I've got to say where we are, it's quite a lot. I had to take my hand, not off the handlebar, but just loosen it so it wasn't feeling all the vibration, because that vibration was going straight up my arm, straight to my elbow, and probably the bursitis and the bruising was going, no!
Don't do that!
Don't do that, you
well,
fool.
Your big mistake was going down cobblestone road. I think that was the biggest problem right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we had cobblestone roads in this country, it'd be better than what we've got at the moment in a lot of cases, gotta say. Anyway, what, Guy, can I ask? You didn't have to point. It's all right. I was just going to ask you, what mic are you using this week?
This week, it's one that I bought probably at the end of last year and then never took it out of the package because I got distracted by other shiny things. It's the Rode NT1 USB. So I'm not going through an audio interface, just like Gaz, direct into the Mac via USB. And if you're wondering what that crunchy sound was,
nerds,
if you know what those are. It's
like
little tiny.
I've never had them.
They're the devil's candy, Gaz. They really, really are.
I'm just going to quit. While you're talking,
tiny nodules.
While you're talking about nerds, I'm just going to say, you carry on.
Okay, and this microphone, it's got a headphone jack for no latency monitoring, and it's got this. I'll pull it up a little bit here. See it? There it is, right there. It also has this. Besides a shock mount, it also came with a pop filter, and it is really, really, really sensitive. It is super sensitive. I have had to make adjustments in both Audio Hijack and in Hindenburg for recording, and I'm still not sure if this isn't overdriving it. I guess I'll find out. I'll find out in post.
Well, it's sounding good to me, but it's how it's going through to your recording.
Yeah, it records really, really super hot. So if the audio is a little bit messed up this week, it's the microphone's fault. Yeah. That's it. It's the microphone's fault.
Yeah.
Sure.
Those damn little microphones coming in here and ruining my sound.
Gremlins, how dare they?
How dare they?
But what I have to say that I do like the simplicity of it, where I'm not having to make adjustments through an audio interface, and it's basically just I know. I know.
Who'd have funked it? Hey, who'd have funked it?
Yeah, it's almost like I've been completely wasting time and money for
I'm saying nothing.
Oh. One
Oh.
other thing I almost did this week. I'm going to show it to you.
Can I just ask you? Can you remember how much that mic cost you?
This one here, it was like
the one that you're
150.
using, yeah. Okay,
$150.
so not too bad. Oh, the road, beautiful.
Except when hold on, let me put it back down. When I connected it up and started playing with it a bit, it reminded me why I stopped using it.
Okay.
It's not suitable. It's not suitable for my voice. So
what does it make your voice sound like that?
No. It prefers a higher pitched voice.
What are you saying about my voice?
I'm saying that you have a slightly higher pitched voice than mine. But yeah, deep voices, and the frequency response it's like 75 hertz to 15 kilohertz, which may explain why
you've
it
never
doesn't do
complained. Well. You've never complained about my voice and my sound.
No,
so
honestly, the podcaster sounds fantastic with you.
It must be me then. There you go.
No, it's me. My voice doesn't work with it. And honestly, that could be the problem all along. It's just
we finally got there.
Yeah, this voice that microphones are just like, yeah, I don't like that.
You sound great, Guy. Don't
Thank
believe your own head.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We will see.
We'll see. Yeah. Right. Okay. I think we should jump straight over to Gaz's snippets. God, just so smooth. So smooth. Apple gets 36% of Google revenue. Now, we did mention this last time, very briefly, but apparently Google pays Apple 36% of the revenue it earns from search advertising made through the Safari browser. Just think that's just superb. So, any other company complaining about paying Apple 30%, think on. Think on, folks. You could be paying 36. Yeah. Well, we'll make your charges the same that the biggest company in the world next to us, sort of, pays us as part of their ad revenue. So it's going up to 36%, everybody. Watch them complain then.
Yeah. And the funniest part is they also pay them $1 billion a year to be the exclusive browser or the preferred browser.
There's a thought, Apple. If you want your services to go up, you got to charge people to be on there and then charge them for being on there. I love it. Dip. Double dip. Yeah.
Double dip.
A major Apple assembler, Foxconn, reports a surprise 11% jump in the Q3 profit, which presumably means they've shipped more, which means Apple's done well. So there you go.
Yes.
Of course, this will always be a delay in Apple's line of reporting sales down the line, of course, because there's always shipping, stock, selling, all of that.
Because we're still in the first quarter of 2024, business quarter, fiscal quarter.
Yes. Now I'm just trying to open up a web page because my next one is meet the 2023 App Store finalist. Now this is an apple.com page. It's just opened. So the finalists, All Trails, that's a finalist. Duolingo, Flighty. So the first one is for helping the world find their way outside rather than inside.
Where is that bathroom?
Duolingo for bringing learning to the masses. Who is this masses they talk of? I don't know.
And not only that, there's this thing, Gaz. It's been around for a while. It's called public education. Just saying.
Flighty for keeping travelers on time and stress-free at the airport. You think that's really going to help you be stress-free at the airport?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, here's some more. Afterplace, which is creating a retro role-playing game with intuitive controls. Honkai Star Rail for building a space fantasy adventure with cinematic animation. Vampire Survivors for inspiring a new roguelike action genre. iPad finalists. Concepts. They're for creating an innovative drawing tool and dynamic color palette. Yeah, baby. DaVinci Resolve. Well, I think we can all nod our head at that one for creating a more portable video editing experience. Prete Markup for bringing makeup designs to life for all beauty enthusiasts. Yeah, not sure I'd go there. Okay, there's some iPad game finalists as well. Eggy Party for crafting whimsical and joyful experiences for users. Lost in Play for delivering charming visuals for gameplay for all ages. Pocket City 2 for inviting players to build from their imagination. Great. And there's more. There's lots more. Mac, Apple TV finalists, and the list goes on and on. I may put the link in for Guy so he can put it into our show notes. So you can go and see.
You can bet most of those games are value added games and not in arcade.
I haven't checked, so you'd need to check that yourself.
Yeah, no. Let me think about if I want you to check. No.
I won't then. Okay. Apple has extended the emergency SOS via satellite for an additional free year. That's free beer, not 3 as in 1, 2. Just to make that clear. Apple has stopped selling, Guy, OS X Lion and OS X Mountain Lion installers. Can I just say that again? Apple has stopped selling those installers. I didn't realize they were still selling.
Really hurt their bottom line. Seeing how they're 12 years old.
I don't think it is. The fact that they've only just stopped selling them is pretty good. Lawmakers question Apple over cancellation of Jon Stewart's show. I think we initially went, this is not good. Then, like a lot of other people, realized actually it was fine and that it was just the show wasn't going anywhere. Jon Stewart wasn't bothered about going anywhere. But somebody's picked up in the lawmaking fraternity and decided that they need to start talking and asking questions.
Yeah. And do you know what this means? This means that my initial thought on what happened was so totally wrong, because anytime a politician agrees with something that I've said, I know I'm going in the wrong direction.
Now, this next news piece, I didn't realize this, but Apple Music Classical is now available on the iPad. I thought it was already there, but obviously it wasn't. Apple CEO Tim Cook, Guy, has attended a 40,000 per plate dinner with Chinese President Xi Jinping, I think that's how you say it, in San Francisco. Yeah. I can see you biting your lip. I won't stay on that story any longer. RCS is coming to iOS, but will it change anything for most iPhone users? I think not.
IDK.
WTF, RCS is coming to iOS. So for those who don't know, basically this is so that anybody who's got the blue message flag when they send messages to their friends who are on iPhones will be able to utilize a lot of the functionality within those messaging when you send messages to people who are not iPhone users. I think that's the easiest way to say what's going on there. But there's lots of debate about it. Apple's Lisa Jackson has been named one of the most influential climate leaders of 2023 by Time. Time is written all in capitals. So what I should have said was the most influential climate leader of 2023 by TIME.
Yeah. Thank goodness they named somebody.
FCC images show Apple Watch Ultra prototype with a black ceramic back. If this is the compound that they're using on that SE, folks, Do not buy it. I found it not very good for changing a strap. This stainless steel one that I've got is 8. I love it, and I'm changing the strap
Yeah.
all the time. And I couldn't do that with the SE as reliably as I can with this. So I hope, Apple, that if this is correct, you get it right, because you
Yeah.
did not get it right previously.
And just, and you actually have the option to just take the watch and put it in your pocket and go strapless.
Oh, I like going strapless.
I bet you do.
It may not be the same material, but we'll see. See.
Maybe not.
Apple Music fraud has fallen by 30% after Apple has beefed up its protection.
What is kind of music fraud are they even talking about?
The company implemented stronger protection against so-called streaming manipulation. That's like being strapless, isn't it?
It kind of is.
I'm moving on.
Okay.
This has got nothing to do with Apple. Oh, actually, it has. Apple TV Plus unveils a new, but I thought you'd like it. Apple TV Plus has unveiled a new teaser trailer for The Dynasty, the New England Patriots, and a big picture of your favorite quarterback, Tom Brady, is on there. That's why I put that.
That's a growl. That's not a.
Yeah. I wasn't sure, I wasn't.
No, not a fan. Not a Tom Brady fan.
Apple files a legal case contesting EU's Digital Markets Act. This ball is in a tennis match, and we are currently at 6-all in the final set, so it could go on for a long time yet. Tim Cook talks about his personal life and work at Apple with an interview with Dua Lipa. I haven't heard it. I don't think it's 45 minutes, so it's it's not horrendous. Apparently, he talks about all sorts of stuff. I think they did talk about, and I might have another story coming up, but I'll mention it here just in case. He talks about his replacement, or he was asked, but he said yes, there is a plan, but he wasn't going to name who it is.
None of your effing business, world.
Well, it could be.
Seriously, it really isn't.
Well, it is.
Why does Tim?
Yes, it is. Yes, they are. Yeah. Hang on a minute. I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
Actually, it is a heavily regulated financial money earning company. So the shareholders and their obligation to make sure that their shareholders are holding shares in a company who are not going to then give it to the cleaner if he drops dead tomorrow, and that there is a plan in place to make sure that the next CEO is appropriate.
There should be a plan.
What do they call it? Financial fiduciary regulation or whatever it is. I don't know.
I don't think that he's under any obligation at this point.
No, he's not. He's
not.
No,
he's
sick.
not. He's obviously enjoying what he's doing.
No, he's not sick like us. He's not going to leave
the company anytime soon. So when people start saying, so who's going to replace you? I would just say none of your effing business.
Well, no, he doesn't have to say that. He just has to say that Apple have got a plan in place and it's working out fine. Thanks very much.
No. See, Tim Cook is a very polite man.
Wait, you missed it there. I just did a train running him over.
Oh.
Now it's our business.
Now it's your business. Tim Cook commits suicide, shooting himself in the back of the head twice while being hit by a train. Film at 11.
Film at 11. Who's going to replace him?
Don't know. It's the cleaner guy. It's the guy that empties the waste baskets.
Apple's... Because he's good at moving stuff and putting it in the right place.
He really is. He really is.
Apple's head of... What's his name? Apple's head of...
Fred Gahuzanats.
I'll tell you what.
He's a good...
I bet he's got an MBA.
Hold on. Of the Washington Gahuzanats.
Ah, and I know for sure he's got an MBA. Mop bucket assistant.
Exactly.
Apple's head of security speaks out against iPhone app sideloading in a new interview. So a new report from The Independent this week offers an interesting look at why and how Apple is working hard to break its own iPhones. Ivan Christie, Apple's head of security engineering and architecture spoke to The Independent for the report and explained why Apple feels the need to invest so heavily in security. Yeah, I'm not going to read any more on that. We all know where we are on that.
They invest in security.
Apparently, Alaska Airlines has adopted all A's. Alaska Airlines adopts. I'm sure they do that on purpose. Tap to pay on iPhone for in-flight purchases. So they're using, if you remember that, I said that would be really good, but you've got to be a business user to have it on your phone. So you can just go, oh, you need to pay me £5. Just tap my phone. That's not going to happen for most everyday users. Although, I mean, it may come. Anyway, Alaska Airlines
it would actually be more in line if you were flying like some of the really super cheap airlines like Frontier or Ryanair, because they charge you for everything. So it's like, it
would you like to go to the
air
toilet?
Is getting thin in the cabin. Oh, tap to pay for more oxygen there, sir.
You want to go to the toilet?
Tap to pay. Tap to pee.
I'll line them up. You hit them at the park. Apple plans to equip MacBooks with an in-house cellular modem. Apple eventually plans to build its own custom modem into cellular MacBook models that could arrive in, wait for it, 2028.
Yeah.
Great. We'll probably report on that in the future. Mental Health Summit at Apple Park hears from Tim Cook, Jill Biden, and singer Rosé. Good. Aura poaches Apple health executive as its CEO teases rapid expansion into the healthcare world. There's a few stories about Apple losing people and the sorts of companies that they would lose them to. So, that's the issue. When you're at the top of the tree, that generally means you're at the top of the tree because you've got the top people, and the top people often get poached. It happens, folks. Apple faces
never
lawsuit.
hear from 95% of those companies ever again.
Agreed. Apple faces lawsuit over high transfer fees between mobile wallets. Apple is the target of a wait for it, a new class action lawsuit filed by Venmo and Cash App customers over high transfer fees between mobile wallets. There's also a cryptocurrency angle because, of course, why not?
Yeah.
Leaked iPhone 16
AI in there if they could.
Yeah, of course. A leaked iPhone 16 Pro battery reveals new metal shell for improved thermals. I put this in because it was making me laugh, and I can't remember why it was making me laugh. I think it's because it's the iPhone 16 Pro, and two, it's like the picture of a metal case. It's just. Those Dow analysts.
It's it's like these reporters. You get to this time of the year where there's not a whole lot of tech news, and they're like digging through garbage cans trying to find something because they're so desperate to report on anything at this point.
And
like
then
us in the podcast.
And that Dua Lipa interview, I was quite surprised. I found it's actually on BBC Sounds because it was an interview for BBC Sounds podcast, Dua Lipa actual service.
Make sure if you can find a link, put it in.
Yeah, I will do. Let me just click on that and get that up because that's 2 links I've now got to put in. I'm sure I can do that. Yeah, so that was good. But he did say it's a very detailed succession plan. There you go. That's all he needed to say. Very detailed. That's why I can't tell you because it's so detailed I can't remember it all. Apple begins selling refurbished AirPods Pro 2 with a lightning case in select countries. So more and more stuff coming onto
I
free
wouldn't
to you
buy
onto
anything
Refurb Store.
that was lightning case at this point.
That was
uses a
what?
lightning cable. I don't think I would buy anything that uses a lightning cable at this point.
Oh, true. Yeah. No, that you're. Well, I've still got plenty of lightning cables. I got to say.
Well, I do too.
But yeah, I do want to move over.
It's like how little by little they're paring them down in iOS land.
Yeah. Well, everywhere land.
Yeah.
Apparently, rave reviews pile up for Apple TV Plus series Slow Horses Season 3. I can't remember if it's out now or not, but I can't wait to start watching that.
I still have to get through season 1.
What, of Slow Horses?
Yeah, I'm on episode 4. But I did get caught up on For All Mankind.
Okay. Well, get onto it.
Yeah,
Apple
Monarch
has shared
really good too,
Apple. Is it? Right. Okay.
Yes.
Apple has shared.
Yes.
Will you let me finish? Apple has shared a heartwarming Fuzzy Feelings holiday ad. I watched it. It's all right.
It just gave me indigestion.
I thought he was a bit of a prick, and and she was being a bit nasty, and then at the end she realized how nasty he was being, and he was still a bit of a prick. Hey, life happens.
Hey.
Windows Hello fingerprint security test failed on their top 3 laptops. The reason I put this story in was because Apple generally do it right. I thought Windows had fingerprint security testing for a long time, and it's still not working.
Nope.
China finds Apple iPhone assembler Foxconn amid a major tax probe. Do you want to guess how much they fined them, Guy? Foxconn, massive company, selling gear to a massive company.
Gonna say
tax, avoidance or whatever it is, the tax probe. It's going to be awful. So expenses in 2021 and 2022, 2 years worth. It must be a massive amount. I'll take you out of your misery. $2,800.
That'll keep it from happening again.
The Babylon Bee lampoons Apple CEO Tim Cook for pulling ads from X while shaking hands with a brutal Chinese dictator. Yep, those sorts of things are going to happen. Those sorts of things are going to happen, Tim. Those sorts of things are going to happen if you're not careful. That's what I'm going to say. That made me laugh.
That is funny.
iPhone 15 hugely popular in South Korea, while Japanese buyers seek out used iPhone 13 minis, which is something I did similar, although I got the 12, didn't I? So next time I'll be getting the 13.
Still haven't seen the 13 mini in the refurb store.
Keep looking outside the refurb store. You won't find them in the refurb store, I don't think.
Yeah.
Another illegal union busting charge has been filed against Apple after 3 convictions. The National Labour Relations Board, the NLRB, to give it its acronym, has filed a fresh complaint against Apple, accusing the company of a 4th example of illegal union busting. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. 2
key Apple suppliers in patent battle over tetraprism lens. So we'll find out what's going on there as that becomes clearer over the next few weeks. Apple employees are most likely to leave to join Google, says an analyst. From LinkedIn.
You had me until that last word.
Yeah, I know. Foxconn founder Terry Gu withdraws from the Taiwanese presidential bid to lightly relief of Apple. So they got the Apple name in there somewhere, you see.
Well, that's a really bad situation.
I try to read this story. I try to find out why, and I try to get some understanding of it, and I got bored, so I didn't do any more. iPhone diary. The 5X telephoto lens has been great for portraits, but not much else, says Ben Lovejoy of 9to5Mac.
Way to stick your neck out there, Ben.
Yeah, Hannah Waddingham, you know her of Ted Lasso fame.
Oh yeah, I like
owner.
her.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, she said there is no word of a Ted Lasso spin-off at all. So don't get your hopes up, folks.
Hmm. Hmm.
I popped this in because we don't do rumors, but this said what to expect from the next iPad Mini later in 2024. It didn't say there might be. We think it's going to. It says what to expect. So there you go. Expect possibly an iPad Mini in 2024.
Yeah.
And that, guy, that
So clear.
finally is the end of Gas's snippets. And I do have 2 links, but we've talked about them already, so I won't do the sound again.
Okay. Well, as we were saying when we started the show yesterday, as we record this is Saturday, November 25th, was Blech Friday. And coming up is Cyber Monday. But we're not going to talk about those things. Instead, we're going to talk about stuff that we like, that you might be able to buy, that you could buy. Now, whether or not these items,
you didn't say that to me either. You said to me,
okay,
whether you can buy it or not. Those were your words.
No, I said whether it was on sale, or not.
Oh, right. So, meaning people may not be able to buy it.
No.
When you say sale, you mean sale.
Yeah, like
not
Black Friday sales.
For sale.
I've
really stumped him, folks.
Now.
I've completely stumped him. You move on. That's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. You carry on.
Okay. I'm going to take the first one here.
Good. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I might have to. I know you only wanted me to pick 3, but I could just. I'm going to go it. I'm going to go ip dip do.
Okay. Apple AirTags. You can currently get a 4-pack for about $80, and I have avoided buying them, but I finally went out and got some, and here they are, along with some little cases. Not sure what I'm going to use them for yet.
For those on the podcast, obviously Guy was showing one.
Yeah, there they are, right there. See, right there. So you can get a 4-pack for $80, and they're apparently they're wonderful. I'll find out when we go to Asbury Park. What about you, Gaz? What you got?
Well, I've not gone cheap.
I've went real cheap.
I've not gone cheap. You see, folks, this is what the message was. Just so we're clear here. Pick maybe 3 things you would buy tech related. Doesn't have to be on sale. You see, I took that last line as what? Something that I've had in the past is not on sale anymore.
An Apple Mac SE.
Nothing in there about cost, folks. Nothing in there about cost. Okay. What I would, and also what I deemed, these are things that I haven't actually bought, but things that I might want to buy as well. Top of my list, Guy, doesn't have to be DJI, but it's a mini drone, mate. It's a mini drone.
Oh, yeah.
Really fancy a mini drone. And we are in a part of the world where I could go out and fly it quite easily because we're not near any built up residences and we can go out in the fields and I could have fun. But I don't know how long it would last having that much fun, but it's something I really would like to get. Now, go out there. There are a lot.
Guy Jr. actually, because he's been doing a lot of video work. He has been using drones for a while now and has gotten some spectacular shots from down in Richmond. And he can only go up about, I think, like 120 feet before he starts hitting that line where, they shake their fingers mightily at him. But where you are, you should have you should be it should be literally sky's the limit. Take it
No,
and
no,
put it
not.
wherever
No,
you
no,
want.
no, no. There are laws where you can't go above a certain height. Still, you still can only go a certain
Yeah.
height. So
Okay.
yeah,
And stay away
but
from nudist colonies.
C'est la vie.
Maybe.
But yeah, that is one thing that I'd certainly certainly want.
That's a good pick. The next one I have is, and there's a million variations of this. The Tenmos wireless USB-C charging mouse, and it has lots of available colors, and it actually kind of lights up. And here's the crazy part, Gaz. You can have a cable connected to it to charge it and still use it. 14 bucks.
Absolutely blown. Your mind was then absolutely blown. Okay, so I've got a couple of things here which are bike related, so I'm going to bump them all together. One is something that I haven't got. One is something that I have got. The first thing which I haven't got, which I'd love to go out and buy, is electronic gear changing. So basically, they now do these radio controlled gears, so you can just click the button on your gear, on your handlebar, and just change the gears without, and apparently they work brilliantly, but they ain't cheap.
No,
however,
I can imagine they are.
However, the other thing that I have got, and that also can be very expensive, is a bike computer. Now, this isn't a navigation computer because I use my iPhone.
Yeah.
But what I don't have, and what the iPhone didn't seem to do very well, was then pick up all of the sensors, like my cadence sensor and my speed sensor, which I put on the bike, and also tells you exactly what the altitude is, what the angle, the altitude percentage is at that point. So I went out and bought. It's called Cuspo. Yeah, it's a Chinese make, COOSPO, and it's much, much cheaper. And you can get a cadence and speed sensor with the computer. I think I paid about 40, 50 quid for mine.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all, because some of the computers are really expensive, and those are really expensive without the navigation bit in them as well. So so a couple of bike things there, which are pretty tech related, I hope.
Okay, this next one, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of the company, because there apparently is only one vowel. I don't really know what it means. It's DNTGVUP. This is a charging station for your iPhone, Apple Watch, and Apple AirPods. And if you remember, God, I can't even remember when it was. I was telling you I had one of these and I couldn't figure out how to make it so that it would charge my watch. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Well, that's what this thing is. And
right.
Basically from one cable. And for people who travel a lot and carry lots of cables and have to have lots of chargers and trying to figure out where to plug everything in, this one little thing will charge your phone, your watch, and your Apple AirPods. It's light, portable, and only uses one single AC plug, $23.
Okay. My next thing is tech related and links into my home. I like hoovering. Or vacuuming, I should say.
Yeah.
But occasionally it's nice just to have a little robot go out and do it. And I'm going to move to one side and see if you can see it.
Oh yeah, they're over there next to the door.
Yes, let me move that table. There's a little robot down there sitting behind me, and periodically I get the app up and running, HomeKit, tell it, go and clean this room and this room for me. And most of the time it works. There are times when it plays up a little bit because it can't remember where it is and then gets stuck in the corner, but generally it's quite useful. So that is something. There's a lot, actually. I know that we've been bemoaning Black Friday, but I have seen quite a few populous ones on sale, but there are pretty good cheaper alternatives as well. The one I've got is from a company called Amalok. I have a friend who sells them in the UK, so there is a connection there, just so you know, but there are plenty more out there that you can go. and fine. But it's quite interesting just watching this thing going around, and the dog has got used to it finally.
was not a fan.
He just used to look at it disdainly and walk out the way, but now he just hops onto the chair and just watches it going round. So
yeah, the next time it doesn't work, get like binoculars or looking glass and look really, really close at it. You'll see that it's holding a sign that says "Unionize now."
Yes. Or it might have teeth marks in it.
Yeah. My next one, and you must have known that we were not going to get through this list without at least one audio product. And yes, the Fifine K669D Dynamic XLR microphone. Is it the most amazing mic ever with none to compare it to? Not in the slightest, but it is one of the best under $50 XLR microphones that I've ever found. Amazing build quality and hits well above its weight for only $37. And if you're looking to, I mean, not stupid crazy like me having a friggin' mic locker of 10,000 different microphones, but if you would like to have just a good backup mic, this is a good one to get, the Fifine K669D.
Okay, I've got one more.
Okay.
I hope this is tech enough related. I have a magnetic torch guy.
I've heard that about you.
What, the magnetism bit? Yeah. So basically, sure. I could go and get it and show it in the video, but I'll see if I can describe it. It's quite a thin thing, about the length of a pencil, a standard pencil that you'd get, but it's obviously a little bit thicker than that for the body for the battery. It's a rechargeable USB-C. It is, nice. And it's got an arm which comes out, and it's got several LEDs on it, so you can have the light going in different directions. Now, it's magnetic. What are you talking about, Kaz? What on earth use is that? Well, magnets stick to things, guys, especially metal things. And very often when they
only stick to metal things. Let's get that in there.
All right, then. Yeah. For the uninitiated, we'll get that in. But that is really useful because you can often place it somewhere and it stays there and actually gives you the light in exactly the position you need. And you still have both hands available. Exactly. So that is something which I absolutely love. It was actually a present for me from my daughter. And the reason she got it was a very good gift. So I was really, when I opened the packet and saw this, I thought, what? But then it went, it's quite a powerful magnet as well. to whatever it was it got stuck to, which was metal. No, it wasn't quite that bad to pull it off, but it really has been useful and I use it all the time.
All right. My last thing is something that both you and I can relate to. And I put here, got an M1 Mac Mini, but honestly, it could be any of Apple's M series Macs and have port and storage envy. No worries. Grab this enclosure and an M2 style SSD storage card. And when I say M2, I'm not talking about the processor that Apple sells. That's just what they call these new style data storage modules. It almost looks like regular RAM. But with this enclosure, you can add all the data you want without Apple's crazy upgrade pricing. It's $75 for the enclosure, just for the enclosure. And it's the Satechi Type-C stand enclosure. Now, just having the enclosure, of course, isn't going to get you any of that storage. So right now, also on Amazon, you can get that M2 style SSD storage card I was just talking about, 2 terabytes for $130. And so for just about $200, you have gone so far beyond what Apple is willing to give you. And here's the crazy thing. If you need more storage, you can replace it. Okay.
Nice explosion. Nice explosion.
Yeah. I think so too. Oh, wait, that's on me.
Hit it.
Got lost. Sorry.
Mostly.
Gases tips.
Mostly.
Gases tips.
It's time for
Gases tip.
I've just realized I think I told these tips in the last one,
Oh,
but I did some forward planning. So I'm not sure whether I told them or not. Do you remember me talking to you about video and the fact that the iPhone, you can actually search for sounds in your video on your phone?
no, I don't remember that.
Okay, so maybe I did do some forward planning on this. Okay, so did you know, Guy, that you can search for sounds in your videos on your iPhone? Now, it depends on the sorts of sounds that you may have on your videos, but you could search for things like clapping or laughing, for instance, but you may have other sounds specifically that you want to search for. And then the returns will come in and the phone will also show you where in the return video the sound can be found. I thought it was really interesting. Also, this one made me laugh. You can ask Siri things like, what does a giraffe sound like? You can even say to Siri, perhaps I shouldn't have said that. You can even say to the S lady things like Lumos, and the light on the back of your light will come on. And I've tried this and it does work.
It's so funny. I remember the first time I did that, I was like, wow, really?
Yeah. But did you try and turn it off?
Yeah, you just say Lumos again.
Do you? Let's see how many people come back and complain with us on that one. Anyway, in accessibility and listen for sounds, your iPhone can listen for certain sounds that you may find it hard to hear, like the door knocking. It's not, somebody doesn't knock on the door loudly enough, or you don't hear the phone ringing in a different room. But there's lots of things in accessibility and listen for sounds, and you can set it up. The only problem with something like knock the door, you have to give it a test sound so it understands it, so it can recognize it. I've done that on ours because our people knock our front door, and it's sometimes you just don't hear it, and it's more sensitive on the phone. Problem is, it's so sensitive that if something drops on the floor, it says, "I heard a door knock."
You go and you look, and there's no one there.
No, there's no one there. Yeah, or you go, "No, that was not a door knock. I know it wasn't." Yeah.
It's like falling off a bicycle and having to cancel an emergency call out.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Anyway, there's a triple header of tips, which I hope have not been repeated, folks.
And I have a tip.
Oh, Guy's tip.
And you talking about audio made me think of it because I was just using it this morning. One of the really hard things to do if you're doing video is finding free audio clips that you can use that you don't have to worry about being sued for example, if it's in somebody's domain and all the rest of that happy nonsense. If you have a YouTube account and you're a creator, YouTube has a ton of music and sound effects and all kinds of things that you can use royalty free. So go to your YouTube account, search around a bit. I can't remember exactly how to find it, but it's in there, and look at all of the stuff that that Google/YouTube will give you royalty free that you don't have to worry about getting sued for. Yep.
Bobbing head.
We are.
Hit it. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's
And
the
Guy.
end of Gaz's tips. That's
And
the end
Guy.
of Gaz's tips.
And
The
Guy.
end of the tip.
Will you let me finish?
Gaz, you are absolutely right.
And Guy.
And Guy. All right. Well, we don't have any feedback this week, which is very, very sad. But if you would like to support the show, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/MacPedit. You can also go to coffee, ko-fi.com/MacPedit. And you can pay a pal over there on PayPal, paypal.me/MacPedit. Now, Gaz.
Yeah.
If people wanted to contact you and say, Guy told us about all this great audio we can use, but didn't tell us how to find it. How could they do that?
It's ever so easy, Guy. It really is ever so easy. Send an email using your client of choice to Gaz, G-A-Z, at mymac.com, or you can contact me on lots of social medias. I think I am on X. I'm not going to use the other name. You can find me on Counter Social. You can find me on Mastodon. You can find me on what, Threads, is it? You can probably find me on you can probably find me on Instagram as well. It's Gazmaz on most of those. G-A-Z. In fact, all of those. G-A-Z-M-A-Z. Except on Mastodon, you have to go gaz@c.im. You can also contact Guy and myself on the X's under Guy and Gaz. G-U-Y-A-N-D-G-A-Z. Brilliant. God, we got a long way into the Z-Cars theme tune that week. You can also send an email to feedback. That's FWDBACK at mymac.com. Now,
his name was Guy.
Oh, right at the start.
Guy.
Guy?
An email from Guy.
No fooling.
No.
how would people contact you?
Oh, just send me an email, and you can send that to at mymac.com. It's a new bit, folks. I like it. I like it. I'm over on the X's as Mac Pettit.
Oh, I'm not on the wrong board.
Oh, and Vert Shark. Over there on Counter Social and Mastodon.social, I am Mac Parrot. I think I'm Vert Shark over in Threads. Which would mean, of course, that I'm also Vert Shark on Instagram. And
if anybody else is wondering, what is that bump? If you're new here, it's actually part of the Jaws theme, but we can't pay very much of the Jaws theme because we get pulled off.
We will get sued.
Should I rephrase that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it's as long as it's just that vumph, then we're good. I think we're okay there.
Yeah, it comes from the dumph. Do 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 do
dumph. People say, "What a bunch of dumph coughs."
Yeah, absolutely. It's dumb cough.
We have a Google Voice number, Gaz. And do you know what that number is? I'm just curious if you know what that is.
I think from memory, Guy, it's 703-828-4677.
From memory.
From memory, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not because it's written right there in our show notes.
Where?
It's wait, I can't find it either. I can't find where it says
703-828-4677. Oh, you spoil the magic, you do. You really spoil the magic.
We keep giving you peeks behind the curtain, and you just keep coming back anyway. So,
even though we try,
we would like to say to all of you who are still here, thank you. Thank you so very, very much. We really do appreciate the fact that you take the time to download and listen to the mymac.com podcast. It is greatly appreciated. And Gaz, once again, I think that we're good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. But I was smart enough to pick this microphone.
True.
Not that means anything. And that doggone it, Wilf, who does not like robot vacuum cleaners, apparently. Woof. People like us.
Why can't a nose be 12 inches long, Guy?
Because then it would be a foot.
Boom!
Yes! I finally. Yeah.
You should see his face, folks.
Oh, I'm so happy.
But you're not going to, because that is the end.
you can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on. Go on home and I go home.